welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about advice for medical coders on LinkedIn. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue, I'm a medical coder. Okay guys, first and foremost, this is not an ad for LinkedIn, all right? I just want to talk about this because this is something that I think is very important because I see a lot of medical coders on LinkedIn. And I have over 800 connections on LinkedIn. Now, the reason that my connections are a little low, and the reason that I have LinkedIn was for the show, right? For my YouTube channel. But I don't just accept everybody as a connection on LinkedIn. I am very particular about who is connecting with me on LinkedIn because this is a professional platform. If I look at the person's profile and they look like they're up to no good, yeah, no, you are not getting a connection with me. Number two, if you are trying to sell something, if you're an SEO expert, oh no, you are not getting a connection with me. So those aside, right, it keeps all the riffraff down on my LinkedIn page. Now, I do get some of those stupid messages sometimes from people who are, this is not a dating platform, guys, okay? And so there are some that will try to pull that. Again, I just hit block. But the thing is, when you are connecting with LinkedIn, right, and you're making these connections, you need to look at who you are connecting with to see if it is appropriate that you make that connection. If it's not, and if they're not anything to do with this, then, you know, you can always decline, and that's fine. It doesn't hurt because this is a professional website. This is not Facebook, although a lot of people will treat it like Facebook. And I see a lot of brand new medical coders making mistakes, so many mistakes on LinkedIn. And I think that it's time to talk about these mistakes. Now, I have one, and this is my own personal experience. Now, I do have a connection on there. Now, I thought I had removed this connection, but I guess I didn't. So this particular person that was on my LinkedIn, now I've removed the connection, I don't have to see it anymore, is incessantly complaining. Brand new medical coder, incessantly complaining about not being able to find a job, being on the job market, looking around for a couple of months already, and still can't find a job. And she's voicing how upset she is, and she's very upset. And she's making these huge long posts about how it's not fair and it's not right and how she's ever supposed to get a chance. And then I'll see all of the places that she has commented on because it'll show up on my feed about, like, from people who say, well, we have all these positions open, and she'll respond with, I sent you my resume, but you never responded. Okay, we need to make sure that our communication is very professional at all times on LinkedIn. If there is a recruiter that is not getting back to you, that's your clue that, okay, this is not the place for me. I can keep moving on and looking for other places. Now, there's a lot of recruiters that hire for people who have high turnaround all the time. So that's something that you also have to keep in mind. If you see a recruiter on LinkedIn that is incessantly posting the same kind of post for the same companies, that means that there's a high turnover at that place. If there's a high turnover at that place, there's obviously something going on there with leadership that makes that not a favorable place to work, okay? So let's put that together right there. You not getting a response back is probably a good thing. So you need to look at that and be positive when you're thinking about these things, even though it is hard to always get this rejection all the time. But getting back to this particular person that I was connected with on LinkedIn, she had posted her resume after this long diatribe about how, you know, no one is giving her a chance and she just wants to get in and she already wants to give up, and it's been 2 months and it's that easy for her to give up after 2 months. She just wants to quit the whole thing. Okay. But I looked at her resume because she posted it for everybody to see. It had her home address on it and her phone number. Now, this goes for men and women. Do not put your home address and your phone number on your resume on LinkedIn for the world to see. Now, there's a way that you can have it where only recruiters can see your resume and that kind of thing. But it is not necessary to put your physical home address on your resume on LinkedIn along with your phone number. You can put your city and state, and that's fine. A zip code is okay. But you do not have to put your physical home address. Let's exercise a little bit of caution in the real world, okay, guys? Now, this is not just the coder in me always wanting to protect information. This is a common sense thing, guys. Don't do it. Don't put your home address on your resume. You could put your city and your state. Now, you can leave your phone number off. I would leave a email address, okay? And your email address should be your name at whatever email platform you're using, right? But it should be your name so that it's something that can be connected to you, obviously, and not Queen, Baby, something or another. Don't do that, guys, okay? You want to make your email address name as professional as possible. I always recommend if you're going to go with anything, go with Google. Google has free email, and that's fine. But it's just a really good way, you know, and again, this is not an ad for Google, but it's just a good way to have a good connection email address for everybody to see, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. But don't put your home address, don't put your phone number on there, because that's your own private information, guys, and I wouldn't want all of that to be shared with the whole world, okay? But in looking at this person's resume, they didn't even have their credentials next to their name. So they had their name at the top with their home address and everything, but no credentials, and they have a CCPCS, okay? And in the description, and it's not even an objective, it's a description, professional description, they repeated themselves. So it wasn't even a good one, right? It wasn't even a good, like, hey, grabbing your attention, what are you looking for? And that's what it's supposed to be about. You should have a professional objective, because if you have a professional summary, this means that you've been in the industry long enough, that you have experience. I would have a professional summary on my resume. But for people that are brand new to the industry and brand new to medical coding, you need to have a professional objective. What is your objective? What do you want? And so in her case, it should have been, you know, outpatient medical coder or whatever position she wanted to apply for. It wasn't even there. And then a whole thing of her employment history back to 1998. Now, here's the thing. If you are being particular about who you are connecting with on LinkedIn, which she connected with me, she would know that I'm a YouTuber and I have a YouTube channel called Medical Coding with Bleu. She would know that, hey, this person has a YouTube channel. Let me check it out for funs and giggles. You can look on my YouTube channel, and I have tons of videos about resume tips for brand new medical coders. I also do resume rewrites. My rate is in the description box below. But that's not the point of this video. The point is, that's a resource that she could have clearly gone and done to look at how her resume is standing out or not standing out. It is clearly not standing out. And at the end of her resume, she's got a bunch of different skills and everything. Again, only ICD-10, not specifying ICD-10-CM, right? Or ICD-10-PCS, right? But if she has her CPCA, I'm going to assume that it is only ICD-10-CM, right? And it's just very, everything that I have suggested that you guys not do is everything that this person is doing. And then way at the bottom, that she went to school for medical coding. Okay, where's the information about your CPCA, right? And again, when you have that designation, it goes on your name. That is your professional designation. It goes on your name, okay? So there's a bunch of mistakes going on with this resume, and I can see why she's not getting any calls back. But again, if she had looked who she was connecting with, she would have seen that, hey, I have a YouTube channel, and I have posted many times about like all the things that I offer on my channel, and then some of the shows that come up. So if you're really paying attention and you're really looking to see who you are connecting with, you would know this, right? And so again, these tips are here to help you. I'm not here to do anything but except for help people. That is my goal being here. I am a medical coder and I love what I do. And it hurts me to see people being taken advantage of. So I'm always going to give the bluntness of yes or no on things. And so, and for some people, oh no, they want a more handheld approach. And I just don't do that, guys. We're all adults here, and none of us has the time to do that, okay? So with that said, when it comes to how you're presenting yourself in the real world and how you're presenting yourself to these employers, what you possess as your resume is going to say a lot. And to me, if I see this resume, that's a resume that I would pass completely over, because again, it says nothing about the skills that they have. And all the skills that they said in their job listing were specific to that particular job, not about the transferable skills that were offered by that job. And they have healthcare experience. So that's the thing. That is something that there's a lot of things that can be transferred over when you are a medical coder and you're coming from the healthcare field, and they weren't embracing all of those things that are there, that they are coming in with experience, having done that particular thing in healthcare. So pay attention to what you're putting out there. And a lot of people's frustration is because they think that they know and they do all of these things instead of looking at what's available and who can help. And again, my channel is about helping people. And all you have to do is go through the little spyglass and just type in resume tips, and boom, there you go. Or you can type in resume tips, medical coding with Bleu in the YouTube search, and my videos will come up about resume tips. So a lot of really good information out there, guys. And I didn't even see what the cover letter was. She may or may not have even had a cover letter. But it goes back to professionalism. So again, having that kind of attitude, people are seeing you, right? And everybody that comments on that post is also, their connections are going to see everything that you just said, even though you are not connected with that person. Okay. I have since removed my connection with that person because I don't do well with people who want to sit there and just not be proactive, and they want to get frustrated and they want to be mad at the world, and they're not doing their research to find ways to get themselves into the industry like they want to. Okay, so that is just my advice anyway, guys. When you are out there, make sure, especially when you are on LinkedIn, that you are being as professional as possible. There is nothing worse than that, than seeing somebody just say, all these things and complaining, because everybody can see it, guys. And again, we have thousands of medical coders, but it is a small industry at the end of the day, because somebody knows somebody who knows you. So that's something that I will say there. The things that you can post on LinkedIn, if you are in the job hunting process, you can talk about the things that you've learned as far as like when you went to an interview. If you want to share your experience, maybe you learned something during that interview about like a good interview tip, something. You never want to talk about the places that you're applying, because you never know who's your connections, who's connected with them. So always make sure that you are doing that, as far as like, okay, being on my P's and Q's, but I'm going to share my experience in a positive way. What did I learn? You can also talk about, maybe there's a course that you want to take or that you took and you found it interesting or whatever, and that's okay too. I have made a lot of really great connections on LinkedIn, and there's a lot of really good resources out there on LinkedIn as well. There's free CEUs from companies and vendors on LinkedIn, and you can look at those on there. And there's also low-cost CEUs as well. So you can always take advantage of those if you need to get CEUs. But please don't ask me who's giving the free ones away, because you spend any time on LinkedIn, you'll be able to find them. Okay. So it's very important to always do your research, guys. And when you're looking at these job listings, or these recruiters that are putting out these job ads or whatever, just keep in mind that if you always see them and they're always repetitively putting out the same ones, it's probably because that place has a high turnover. Okay. So LinkedIn is not the only place where you can look for a job. Obviously, there's Indeed that has a lot of job listings. That's a job listing site. So you can look on Indeed as well. But LinkedIn has a lot of great professional development tools that you can take advantage of there if you are a member of LinkedIn. I don't pay for the premium membership. I mean, it's just another place for people to connect with me about the show. And sometimes people have found the show through, connecting with me on LinkedIn, because I'm connected with somebody that they know, so But yeah, so I will say that. But yes, please do not share personal private information like that on LinkedIn. Please do not air your frustrations and your aggravation on LinkedIn, because that is the worst place to do that, because you will just lose connections that way, and you may lose opportunities as well. Pay attention to who you are connecting with. Okay, guys, don't just connect with a bunch of people because you want to have a bunch of people as your connections on LinkedIn. You want to make sure that you're being very selective about who you are connecting with, because that platform is not the place for nonsense. And sometimes people will try to bring nonsense to your doorstep, and you do not want that. So that's just my advice anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. If you are on LinkedIn and you want to connect with me, again, my LinkedIn profile address is in the description box below. You can also check out my feedback if you are interested in getting professional coaching with me, or tutoring, or resume rewrites. I do have feedback on my LinkedIn profile from my happy customers who have connected with me and left me kindly a feedback. But yes, I do offer tutoring and resume reviews and professional coaching. I do not have any availability until after August the 14th. Currently, I am booked right now. So if you are interested, after August 14th, I will be available. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you are on LinkedIn, I wish you the best. And if you are making those connections, good for you. And if this video helped you, I hope that you like it, subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.